Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today I got Guild Wars for ya, offense and defense. We got a Ghulvania restriction. It says it right there in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to show you my defend team first, and then I'm going to show you my offensive team doing several battles and unrestricted and the brown restriction and all kinds of stuff. So tested and true, I guess. I mean, it's what I'm starting with. It's a Ghulvania restriction. There's not too many things. But here's my defend. We got a blue palace. So if you happen to also have a blue palace, you could do this team. Not everybody's going to have the same palace or the same layout for their Guild Wars defends. But if you do have the blue palace, you will have the ability to use this team. So I went the Anu's Scepter, Chrysantherax, Veneratus, and the Miraji Queen. So what I'm thinking here is let's get up Chrysantherax and cast it and win. And everything to do like with getting that up. So Miraji Queen is 50% starting the Chrysantherax. Then the Veneratus is hopefully getting alignment, and even if it doesn't, it's still going to fill Chrysantherax if it gets casted. The Anu Scepter is a very low mana cost blue weapon that can hopefully also get up Chrysantherax. I'm sure you could use a different weapon. I was just trying not to block Chrysantherax while helping it as much as possible, so that's what I went with for my defense. Elementalist, of course. Double blue banner, of course. All right, here's my offensive team. Here's the thing here. So, I was talking about this on my stream, and if you ever want to see any of these little videos in more detail, and like the construction of the team, and the talking about the making of the team, and the why, and like mini fights, and just want to see the long form version of me coming up with these teams and using them for the first time, go check out the live streams. Hopefully some of y'all are here from the live streams running these videos up so we can double our views. I'm doing double the work. Come on, help me out, subscribe. You know, super thanks, anything. But we got the Axe of Leeching, the Grey King, Morthani, and the Ghost Queen. And I feel like the weapon is a given. Like, you pretty much have to use that weapon. If you look at the weapons from Ghulvania, there's nothing. There is nothing. You could maybe say Trick and Treat. You can maybe say Doom Scythe. But the Axe of Leeching is head and shoulders above the rest. Just because everything sucks. There's nothing else. There's nothing good. There's no Explodey weapon. There's no Ruby weapon. There's no Wand. There's nothing like that. You have to use the Axe of Leeching. So plop that on your team to start with. Whatever you're going to do, plop the Axe of Leeching on your team. I think the Ghost Queen needs to be on your team because most things from Ghulvania are undead, and you're going to want to 50% start them. Plus, she's decent herself anyway. She steals mana. She does true damage. She 50% starts undead. So she's pretty good anyway. Then you got the Grey King. What other time are you going to be using the Grey King? This is the best time to be using. It's a Ghulvania restriction for Guild Wars. When else are you going to use it? Like, that's the best time. That's when you use it. So the Grey King. So we got 3 out of the 4. What else are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So the third slot there, the Morthani. I think you could do several other things. I think you could maybe do something else for the 4th slot, but I like Morthani the best. Number 1 reason, it has a summon. Okay, so if we lose a troop, we can summon in something. We can summon in, I forget what it does. We'll see here in a second. But it summons something, which is good. Better than nothing. It does true damage and steals life and hits 4 random enemies and hits super hard and uses red. The Axe of Leeching does purple and red. Nothing else on our team is red. Might as well use Morthani and soak up all that red. The Grey King uses the purple. Both of them use purple, but the Grey King can catch purple. Morthani can catch red. So the team is specifically made for everything to go with everything else. So the Ghost Queen goes with everything because everything else is undead. And it does true damage. The Axe of Leeching goes with everything else because it does damage and makes red and purple based on undead allies. The whole team's undead. And Grey King is purple, Morthani's purple. Morthani's red, it makes purple and red. It goes with everything on the team. The Grey King goes with everything on the team because it does true damage. It silences, it freezes, it screws up the enemy team real bad. Hits multiple enemies with true damage. Morthani, same thing. Multiple enemies with true damage. It has a summon on it. It uses red. It's undead. Like, several reasons. So, that's what I came up with. I'm doing Death Knight. Now, that's scary. Doing Death Knight is scary. I'm doing this in unrestricted, by the way. Now we might be doing Citadel Wars. Just letting you know. So the first 3 fights were PvP unrestricted. So I did the easiest fight, then the middle fight, then the hardest fight. So far, this team is undefeated. We did fights on the stream too. At least 5 fights on the stream. We were 5-0 on the stream. We were like 9-0 on here. So we're like 14-0 at this team so far. Not just doing the easiest fights, but, you know, not just doing only the hardest fights either. Somewhere in the middle. But it's undefeated so far. But yeah, the scariest part, I would say, is using Death Knight instead of Elementalist. Like, every single other Guild Wars, I think I used Elementalist, except for maybe the... We had like a Strix or Suncrest one at one point, and I think I had to do not Elementalist just to make that work right. Same thing here, though. With the weapon that we have, you have to make your hero Death Knight. If you don't make your hero Death Knight, if you do Elementalist... I'm not saying you're going to lose. I'm just saying the whole point of the weapon is to mana generate. Okay? And if you want to mana generate, you're also going to want to get extra turns. And the best way to make that happen is to make your whole team from the thing that says, whatever it says on the weapon. Whether it says Ghulvania or Undead, Death Knight qualifies. The rest of the team qualifies. So we want 4 out of 4. We don't want 3 out of 4. We want 4 out of 4. All from Ghulvania, all undead. That way the weapon works right. Even if you have it like that, it's not going to get an extra turn every single time, but it makes it like a 90-something% chance that you're going to get an extra turn on red or purple. If you do Elementalist, you're now only 3 out of 4 undead from Ghulvania, and it's got... You take that 90% chance, you put it down to like a 60% chance or something, so it's just not as good. Yeah, but Elementalist is nice when you get extra turns. It does tie them all the way up, but you're going to be doing most of that with the Grey King anyway. So I think it's okay to do Death Knight for this one. You'll have to check out my talent trees. I think I did a Brown Storm because the whole team's brown. We did not need, like, Dispel because I'm not scared of Submerge at all with this team because we're not doing AoE damage. We're doing random, so Submerge won't even matter. Yeah, these are Citadel War fights, so they're not super easy. But it's got like Tina, Grey King, Portal, and Famine over there. That's not like the scariest team I ever seen, but I can't choose when it's Citadel Wars, really. I mean, I can, but why would I fight harder fights when I could win easier fights in Citadel Wars? I don't think I should be doing that. But anyway, the way you use this team. Okay, so you're going to 50% start your whole team with the Ghost Queen. And then you're going to match green and brown to get up your weapon. Then you're going to cast your weapon. Your weapon's going to get up the Grey King. And then you're going to look at the enemy team once your Grey King is up, and you're going to see what color do they all use. What's a similar color that all the enemies use? You want to hit them with... You want to choose that color. So with this restriction, for example, it was a brown restriction. Citadel Wars, for me, was a brown restriction. So if I pick brown with the Grey King, I'm going to hit all the enemies. Every enemy that can be silenced will be silenced. Every enemy that can be frozen will be frozen. And then every enemy that can be mana drained will be mana drained. And they'll be all screwed up. It's nice. And they just got hit super hard. They're screwed and they got hit hard. They got screwed hard. You know what I mean? And then after that, you can either do it again, or you can cast Morthani and just hit them for super hard damage after they've already been hit hard by true damage. So it's nice. Then you got the Ghost Queen. Is something on the enemy team you're scared of and it's about to cast. You can cast the Ghost Queen on it, drain their mana. You got the Axe, it's doing a bunch of extra turns. You got the Morthani that can summon. So everything, this team is nice. I'm not saying like every single person that uses it's going to go 20-0, even if you're the #1 guild. I'm saying if you're not in top 20 guild, if you're not in top 30 guild, the lower you go, this team is going to work perfectly. Like, it's going to be awesome. The higher you are, you know, enemy teams are going to be harder. You're going to have to play better. I don't know. The only other troops I could think of that might go on this team, if you don't have, let's say you don't have Morthani, you could use Draculus. You could use Crimson Bat, I think, which is might be even... Does Draculus use red? Whatever uses red, because you want that Axe of Leeching. It does purple and red. And you want something in third slot that does red. So, I think Draculus is like red, green, and blue, or red, green, and purple, or something like that, so it should work. And I know Crimson Bat is blue and red, so that would work too. Gemini, I'm not that excited about it. It's okay. It's kind of like using Trick and Treat or Doom Scythe. It's like, I guess you could mention it as one of the last things you mentioned, but I'm not super excited about Gemini or Immortal Gemini. I think Morthani's better. I think Draculus is better. I think Crimson Bat is better. And then if you don't have any of the mythics, you somehow have Axe of Leeching, you somehow have Grey King, you somehow have Ghost Queen, but you don't have any of the other mythics. Like you got it last week or something from the Soul Forge, that could be a thing. There could be a person out there. Well, the only other troops I saw that were okay would be Undead Sentinel, which is probably hard for you. If you don't have any of the other mythics, that means you're kind of lower level. You're probably not doing your Underspire properly. You may not have Sentinels yet. So you probably don't have Undead Sentinel. Just saying. And then, what's it called? The one that does the Perpetual Purple Storm, the Umberwolf. That might be okay. Just make purple fall quite a bit. Help out the axe to do extra turns. That might actually be pretty good. The now that I think about it. Like, Umberwolf keeps popping back up in my head. Umberwolf, Umberwolf. So maybe. So you could end up doing like a Axe of Leeching, Grey King, Umberwolf, Ghost Queen, or something like that. It might have to go in a different order, I'm not sure, but the Purple Storm is the main thing you would get from the Umberwolf, and then the Axe of Leeching would get more extra turns, the Grey King would get up more, you'd cast it more, you'd mostly have to rely on your Grey King at that point to do the damage, but should be okay. But that's what I got. If you want to see it in action, check me out on Thursday. I'll be live streaming around 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. EST. I'll also be live streaming on Friday and Saturday. Guild Wars, let's go. See you there. Be at the live streams. Come on. Bring that train business. I'd really appreciate it. It's hard out here. You see the Gems of War numbers right now all across the board. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining helps a lot. Check it about the channel down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.